What's going on, guys? Luis Trevino here, and I want to ask you something. Are you frustrated and just tired because you feel you're not getting the results you should be getting from your current marketing partner? I talk to hundreds of MedSpa owners on a yearly basis, and we constantly hear the same thing from them. They're currently working with a marketing company that is not getting them the results that they promised. They feel like they're not giving them the attention that they deserve. And at the end of the day, it's just making you more stressed. You're not growing your business, you're staying stagnant, and you're losing to the competition. And so I want to share this video testimonial with you guys from one of our clients, Dr. Stacy Shropshire, who has a medical aesthetics practice based in Wisconsin, and how we helped her make more than $140,000 in sales in under 5 months, guys. In the video, we talked about how we helped her make $70,000 in 2 months, but that was back in May. We're July now, and we've helped her make more than $140,000 in sales. So I want you to check that video out. She's going to talk about her previous experience with marketing companies, the results that we've gotten her, and what's changed in her business and in her life. So stay with me and check out the video. All right, what's going on, everybody? Luis Trevino here, CEO of Everable. I'm here with one of our clients, Dr. Stacy Shropshire from Madison, Wisconsin. We just spent the weekend shooting some videos for her marketing campaign for the new website.
Yes.
How was that?
I'm super excited. Yeah, it's awesome.
Awesome. So, can you tell us a little bit about Evolution, about your business, the things that you do here? Obviously, you do cool sculpting. We got the machine back here, but can you just tell us, to our audience, a little bit about what you do?
Yeah, happy to. I'm actually a chiropractor in the state of Wisconsin. I've been practicing chiropractic for about 25 years. Probably about 7 years ago, my business took a little bit of a side jaunt, and I started getting into the medical aesthetic industry. I really didn't know much about it, but I learned a lot as I went. And we sort of really started with the medical weight loss program that sort of evolved into more body contouring, which evolved into facial services, which evolved into getting a medical director, which evolved into getting injectables and other things like that. So it's really been a fun progression for me.
Yeah, and so you have a wide array of sculpting machines. You have the True Sculpt, you have the Cool Sculpting, and you just recently got the M Sculpt.
Yep, which is really brand new technology. Just really been out and around for about the last, this is going on year 2. So it's kind of, especially new to the Midwest. Yeah. The coasts always get everything cool first, and then they bring it to us. So.
They bring it to you, yeah. Awesome. So, so we've been working together since about December 2018 now. So it's been about 4 or 5 months. So tell me a little bit about your marketing experience prior to working with us or some of the other companies that you work with.
It wasn't good. So in my experience, you go out and you find someone, and you talk to people, and they give you this story and how they're going to help you, and they set you up on this plan, and then they're going to have someone give you feedback every month or check in with you or whatever. And in my experience, usually the data that they give you is completely unintelligible. Like it makes no sense. Like the last company I was working with, they were showing me like all the places my ads were showing up. Like on weather.com and on Words with Friends and all over the place. And I'm like, well, how many people clicked on my AdWords? Like how much did we spend on AdWords? What's going on there? And that's just mysterious numbers, so it's really hard to get usable data. I feel like a lot of places just kind of set it and forget it. They set up your campaign, they charge you X amount of dollars per month, and they tell you they're managing it, but I don't really think they're managing it at all. I've had a lot of trouble. I don't know if you want to hear about my website story. I've actually hired 4 different people to do my website, and I still have the same old website that my husband made for me.
I remember you telling me this story.
I just feel like, especially in marketing, there's just a lot of a lot of shenanigans that can happen.
Yeah, for sure. So can you tell our audience a little bit about how it's been now, like how it's working with us and how
absolutely.
Been for you?
So just kind of luckily, I sort of made a connection. I'm just kind of one of those people that, if somebody's doing something that I'm interested in, I'll just be like, call them up and be like, hey, I'm doing something similar in Wisconsin, so we're not competitive. Yeah. Let's be friends.
Yeah.
And so I met a woman that had started working with you.
Yeah.
And I called, and I was a little bit, I kind of felt like when I called you, I had a whole list of bad boyfriends, but I was just going to put myself out there one more time. Like, I'll give you a chance. And yeah, so the experience has been vastly different than what I've experienced before. I really like your system. I really was impressed that you took some time to kind of find out about what kind of clients I have and really put together a campaign based on who my ideal client is, what my scene is, versus just, hey, let's go out there and spend, $5,000 in AdWords and see what we get.
See what happens.
And then suddenly we have it coming in, a bunch of 15-year-olds that, what I mean, that can't afford cool sculpting or whatever. You know what I mean?
Sure, for sure.
So I appreciate that about you, and I guess I'm just really impressed with other things too. Like, I'll be like, oh gosh, I was thinking about redesigning my brochure, and you're like, oh yeah, that's on the list. We'll get there. Don't worry, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So it's just been a really exciting process. You guys helped me design a new logo that I love. I'm super excited about that.
Yeah.
I'm kind of just freshening up the place, with that in mind and the themes, and I'm really excited to see how this all unfolds.
Awesome. Recently, one of the things that we do a lot for practices across the United States is that we help them to implement campaigns so that they can generate new business, right? And so that was one of the first things that we started launching with you, and we've had some really good success.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And that's another really amazing thing to talk about, because other companies were generating lead after lead after lead, so they'd send me 50 leads, but I couldn't, when I called them, they had no idea who I was. They were mad that I was calling. People were hanging up on me. If I finally could, even get a hold of them in the first place, if they were sort of interested in coming in, they would never show up for their appointments.
Yeah.
So just with you guys, I don't know how you're magically finding these people, but they're actually hunting me down.
Yeah.
Like, I'll get the email ding from you saying, follow up with so-and-so, and I'll call them and I'll be like, hey, it's Stacy. And they're like, oh yeah, I already called, made up my appointment. I was like, I just got the email like 5 minutes ago. You called already, made an appointment. I mean, it's just, it's remarkable. And the people that are coming in are really excited about it. I feel like I'm not selling anybody, they're just really already interested in it. I think they're coming in kind of with the idea that they're pretty serious about buying. You're really not wasting my time doing a bunch of consults on people that have no idea what cool sculpting is, and they're just thinking, oh, I'll check out something cool,
Yeah. And that's something that really important that I did want to stress, is because I know there's a lot of people out there that will do advertising. They'll generate a ton of leads, but a lot of those leads don't tend to be high quality. And so this is all we do. We work with med spas around the United States. We specifically specialize in working with cool sculpting practices. And so based off that experience, we've learned, and I think and then doing these visits, because, we will do these visits. We come visit our clients, kind of get to learn a little bit more about, their experiences. So I always say that, we have a lot of empathy for the work that you guys do, because it's like, we can't just send you a bunch of leads and expect you guys to do all the nurturing and to, get them closed and all that stuff. And so I get it that, as part of marketing, it's like, what we believe in is that marketing should try to reduce the amount of selling that, the practice needs to do to get someone to officially become a patient, right? And so that is the goal of marketing, to reduce the amount of selling. And so if we can help you by, bringing in leads that are quality, leads that are, already interested, but they're just kind of need that extra, push to make the decision, then that's what we're going to try to do our best to do. So that's really awesome. So to talk a little bit about some of the results that we've had, I think since we kind of turned on the campaign, which was like around maybe like end of February, early March, which is kind of right now, the time of filming this, it's May, I think we're 11th, right? Yeah, we're May 11th. So it's been a little bit about 2 months. I think in the span of 2 months, we made a little bit over like $70,000 just from this campaign alone.
Yeah.
And she hasn't spent thousands, guys. Like, I mean, she spent some money, but she hasn't spent thousands of dollars trying to generate this revenue. I mean, you have about, I want to say, like a 30 times return on investment, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And so that's been really, really amazing to see, and we're super excited about it. To give you guys some examples, like just, so we generated a lead this week. Mm-hmm. They came in this morning for a consult. Mm-hmm. It came, her and her husband, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. And they got a demo for M-Sculpt. Originally came in for cool sculpting, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. And they were so excited that they were willing to do a video testimonial.
Yeah,
right?
Before they left. They're not even my client.
They're not even your client. You know? That's how great of a lead it was that they were willing to do.
And the other thing that's really cool about that story is she was like, I had one appointment left. So you guys were here. We were trying to really schedule lightly because you guys were here. And we really only had one appointment left at 11. So I was trying to push her back to next week to come in for the consult. And she was like heartbroken.
Yeah.
She was just like, please, can't we do it sooner? And then, so we agreed to stay late today. And then she was super appreciative of that. And it was really cool. But I just was like, you can't wait till Monday? And it was like, no. She wanted to come in and do the service on Monday. We are fitting her in at the end of the day to get her cool sculpting done at the end of the day.
So she came in today, and then today's Saturday. She bought a treatment, and she's going to come in and treat on Monday.
Right.
So that's awesome. And then her husband might treat as well. Right.
Yeah. And it was really funny too. Like he came in, and I think he was just going to be the heavy.
Yeah, the heavy.
And then he just like
hard hand.
Yeah, and he just like bubbled his way out, didn't he? He was just
like he did the interview. He had a smile on his face.
Yeah, he was super excited. Yeah. So it was cute. They were really nice people.
No, so that is really, really awesome. Another cool story that I always get super excited about is that there was that one time this was about 3 weeks ago, I think, where we generated a lead. And so one of the biggest things that that we try to help our clients with is like follow up. So one of the things that we help you with is not just generating leads, but helping you schedule those mm-hmm. leads as well. Mm-hmm. And so we have a really good follow-up system to get people followed up on, because we know you and your staff are busy. And then on top, so we generated a lead. I think it was like around 10 a.m. We followed up with her. She ended up calling in, and I think she's scheduled for for the next day, like around the afternoon. She comes in, she buys like a $7,000 cool sculpting package. Mm-hmm. The very next day, we generate a lead about like 5 a.m. Our system text messages her like at 8 in the morning. She text messages back asking if she can come in at 9:45, 10 a.m. You guys get her scheduled for mm-hmm. 10, I think. Mm-hmm. She comes in and she buys a $9,000 cool sculpting package. Which is,
I know.
It's like...
And I didn't touch it.
Yeah.
Like, it was crazy. Like he's just scheduling people for me. And I'm like, this is awesome. And then I'll see like a thing pop up on my phone. I'll be like, oh, I should follow up. And then he's already got her booked. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll just keep on drinking wine with my husband on the couch. Luis can handle this. Yeah. I'm off the clock.
So actually, well, that kind of is a good leeway to talk about, so how has us working together kind of really impacted, one, your business, but also just your life on a whole level?
Well, this sounds super corny. But I kind of really felt like cool sculpting was kind of dead here. Mm-hmm. I was really bummed about it. I kind of was like, boy, I have, all these machines are really expensive. So it's like, should I pay for my kids' college, or should I get a cool sculpting machine? Should I buy a condo and rent a house? Or should I get a cool? There's a lot of money invested in these things. And when I started in cool sculpting, there was 3 people in town. Over the course of the last 2 years, I guess, mm-hmm. Now there are 10 places in Madison that have cool sculpting. So really I felt that a lot here. My numbers tanked.
For sure. And I think the same thing happened to a lot of practice. As soon as Ziltique was bought by Allergan, it's like everybody bought mm-hmm. a cool sculpting machine.
Exactly.
So competition went up drastically.
Yeah. And I think I'm really comfortable with the technology, and I don't really think it's necessarily a sales issue, and people were still buying the same volume. I just was, instead of getting a lead a day, I was getting a lead a week.
Yeah.
And so I really kind of felt like cool sculpting was dead. Mm-hmm. I kind of felt like, well, I got to figure out something different, because this isn't going to cut it anymore. Like, am I going to even be able to pay off the machine realistically? Because I still owe money on it, you know. So to maintain your levels too, I don't know if this is sharing too much information, but you have to buy so many cycles per quarter to keep your status with Allergan, right? And so I had an inventory of over 90 cycles. Yeah. So that's like, you know, $30,000 in the drawer, just sitting there collecting dust. And I was like, boy, what am I going to do with all this? You know, I gotta move this, you know. So
that was at the start of this year, 2019.
Yep, exactly. So we burned through all my inventory. I had to reorder cycles. I'm super excited. I just really feel super invigorated about it again. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I just feel like the people that are coming in, your leads, they're really interested and they're excited about it. So I just feel really like I'm helping them, not like I'm trying to pull teeth or begging people to do something that they're not really interested or on the fence or insecure about doing. You know, the people that are coming in are just, woo, let's do this. And I'm like, yeah! So I'm having a ton of fun with it. Awesome. And then financially, it's been a huge bonus working with you. Finally, with the extra money we've gotten, I paid off our laser hair machine. So I'm down a whole loan. Yep. So we're making changes. So I have my best friend. I talk to her, you know, once a week or whatever. So even though she lives in Boston, she's not really a part of our daily lives, but she knows all of you guys' names and we talk about you all the time. She's also an entrepreneur and owns her own business. So she gets the idea of having the equipment, the small business and everything. And she had a music studio, so she doesn't really have to, I mean, she can buy new cool gadgets, but really the value is in the older stuff, kind of opposite of what we have. Like I need the new shiny thing and she's got like the cool old stuff and that's quality, right? But she's like, I really worry about you because it seems like such an unstable business model because you constantly have to be introducing these new expensive technologies in there. And at some point, you're going to hit that tipping point where, you know, and the same thing with my husband, you know, he's like, God, you know, we're closing in on 50 here and we have a lot of debt. Like we have more debt than we had when we were in our 20s, you know, with our student loans. Like, what are you going to do about this? Like, you know, and is this something saleable? And is this something that I can keep consistent? So I could, if I ever wanted to sell it, you know, is this something that's going to have value? So, so we would talk about these things a lot. And she's just like, yeah, I totally, since you're working with Luis, you just seem like you're having so much more fun. You just seem like you're so much less stressed at work. You know, she's like, I really feel like you have a strategy to, you know, pay off what you have, you know, get into a better financial situation, and then, you know, potentially have the stability to get an out if at some point I would want to sell. Yeah, that's awesome. So, I mean, that makes me feel like super warm and fuzzy because it's like I mean, so myself as a business owner, like, I mean, that is our passion. I mean, obviously we work with, you know, MedSpas, right? But deeper than that, we just love working with business people, you know, like, I mean, it is our passion helping businesses grow because we've been in that same similar situation. You know, I mean, we know how hard it is to, you know, not knowing where your next patient or client customer is coming from. And so being able to create a system in your business that is predictable and scalable is what we kind of strive to create, and, you know, what we're trying to help all of our clients with. And so I know for me, when I found that system, when I was able to kind of stop having to do cold calls or having to do, you know, walking down the street and pounding the pavement and knocking on businesses' doors trying to sell them something, instead of like having them come to me, it was a total game changer. And so for me, it's like super passionate that we get to help you out this way. So I'm super excited. So to close this off, for anybody that is on the fence about working with us, what would you say to them? Well, don't be. Just do it. But no, really, I mean, just give them a call. Luis is super friendly to talk to. I was really impressed with your initial presentation. He sort of like laid it all out. He's like, what do you think? You know, let me know when you can think about it. I'm like, here's my card. Let's do this. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. Let's do this thing. So yeah, that even caught me by surprise. I was like, oh, you're ready to go? I was like, okay, great. No, so thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. If you have any questions, reach out to us.
it okay if people reach out to you
Yeah,
as
sure,
a referral?
absolutely.
Go ahead and reach out to Stacy. I mean, if you don't, you still don't know, you want to talk to her personally, this testimonial wasn't enough for you, then go ahead and give her a call, shoot her an email or something. But go ahead and check us out. Go to Everable.io. That's everable.io. Check us out. Send us a message, and we hope to work with you soon. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.